Good afternoon all. This is Suresh Kumar. We are here to discuss about substance sphincter part 4. And I think all of you are already aware of substance sphincter because we completed almost 3 parts of substance sphincter, and now we are in the 4th part. So in this 4th part, we are going to do a texturing for a character head, because last class 3D modeling we discussed about head modeling, and this class we are going to discuss about head texturing. So here this head texturing, we need to know about few things like how we can start up with the head texturing process, and what are the points we should know about texturing before starting in substance sphincter. So here these are the texturing process we are going to discuss in today's class, like UV unwrapping in Maya, export high resolution model in a WebEx format into substance sphincter, and in the model we can open in substance sphincter, transferring a mesh based information into textures like a baking process, because we are going to do a 2 mesh. One mesh will be low poly, another mesh will be high poly. So both mesh we are going to bake in substance sphincter, and variety of textures we are going to create in the substance sphincter, and finally we are going to export the textures into Maya. Then we will try to render that with the basic lighting setup in Maya with the Arnold render engine. Okay, that is the process, that is the flow of the session. So here everyone aware of this hero, Vin Diesel, I think. This character, why I kept over here in front of you, because you can just observe the character face. You can notice some colored information in the face, forehead, and the side of the cheek, and the nose, and the chin area. The color pattern will be totally different. So the color informations are totally different over here. This information we have to observe and we have to implement in our texturing process. So here, the one more character I am trying to show over here, the face texture is not in a normal clean texture. This is looking like little bit different. You can just observe this face. One area it's looking like a rose color, and some area it's looking little different. The combination of colors like orange and yellow mixed color, and wherever the blood circulation is more, those areas it's looking like a rose color, right? So that means you can notice that whichever the area very close to our bone, that skin area, whichever the skin area close to bone, those areas looking like a little bit yellowish. Whichever the area having a lot of flesh, those area will come up like pinkish tone, right? So not pink, it's a red and a rose color. So the same thing we can observe in a few more faces. See here, all the face texture is not uniform texture. It's a lot of difference is there. So I'm trying to show you here the stubble. The stubble in the sense, this is the style heroes and all following in movies. This kind of stubble information also we can create in our model with the texturing. Okay. See here, this texturing process, whenever we used to discuss about head texture, we used to think about photo wrapping. So we can take a photograph in Photoshop. We used to do in initial stage of texturing class. We can take a front view and side view of the image, and we'll try to match in Photoshop. We will try to apply as a texture information in model. But the problem in the photograph is mostly because of that oily face or because of that specular information, the photograph is coming up with a lot of specular info. It won't suit to apply as a texture in the model because that specular, because of the lighting only, that specular highlight comes. But normally the photograph we can't use for texturing because the photograph shouldn't have a specular information. It will be fine to use for texturing. But normally photo mapping is not advisable for texturing process. Okay. So this is the specular information. When we apply without specular information, your texturing will be like this. Got it? So here we can notice that the lip area and the eye area, the texturing is totally different, right? And here you can see some of the characters, very cartoony character, Bluto. This character is very famous in Popeye show. Is a villain character. It's a 3D model. It's amazing model. It's very nicely done. The texturing process also very superb, high detail texturing. See here. Even in this also you can notice that around this eye area we can get a different texture, and around this ear and nose area we have a lot of blood circulation. Those area is looking like reddish. Okay. The similar kind of pattern we should follow in our character. Then see the detailing. Down. See the Popeye face. You can get a very good idea about the texturing process. See the nose area and this eye and the bald head. All this area you can find out a yellowish and greenish mixed tone for texturing. So the nose and this chin area and this forehead area you can find out a little bit reddish tone. So similar pattern, the variety of textures we have to use in our texturing process. So the similar way this character, that heroine character, that is also very nicely done. And similar kind of texture flow you can observe here in this character face also. And next one, see this is a texturing XYZ is a website. In this website, you can download an image without any specular information. That one you can use for your texturing process. Okay, so this image also not having any specular information. You can just closely observe. There is no specular information in the skin, even in the teeth, in the eye. All the things are removed. This is called polarized photograph. So these polarized images are come up with only a diffuse information. It won't have any specular information over there. Suppose you want to use this kind of images for your texturing process, you can just go to Texturing XYZ website and you can download a texture images for your texturing. You have to pay for that. You can just take it up. Then next one. See, when you are trying to do texturing process, you have to focus on these areas. This yellow lines are main area. We have to focus. These areas we need to do yellow highlights because it's very close to the bone, very close to the skull. Because of that, we need to give yellow background colors over here. Nose and cheeks area, we have to give a reddish. In the side area, we have to again go for yellow. Okay, and in here this eye area and this below that eye area, we have to give a little bit blue or grayish tone for the character. So when we do that for our character, then definitely the output will be superb. I can guarantee that. See here, this is only the texture information, no specular. No other information is arranged over here. The similar kind of thing we can do in our texturing process also. So this is the model we are going to do. This is a reference. I already completed this face model. I have it now. I am going to use that head model for texturing. Okay, and this is the output we are going to achieve at the end of this session. Okay, so this is a Arnold rendering we use, and we use substance painter for texturing and rendering Arnold with subsurface scattering also we use over here. So without any delay, we are going to start the session now. So I'm going back to the substance painter. First, we need to go to Maya. In Maya, we should start to unwrap the texture. Okay. So I think everyone aware of unwrapping process. So I'm going to start in a fast manner to complete this unwrapping process. So I'm going to open a UV editor. In the UV editor, nothing is there because I deleted this UV. Now I'm going to unwrap this. Just go here, UV planner, and choose this Z-axis project, and go to UV editor. In the UV editor, it will be like this. Now I'm going to select the border. So select this area to choose the border over here. Just double click, it's got selected, and you can select border on this area. You can select up to here, and you can just select this edges. So we are going to cut this portion in our UV. Open your UV editor, okay, and in the UV editor you can just 1 minute. So we got the edges, okay. Shift right click, cut the UV. So once it cut, you can select entire UV and shift right click, unfold. It's done. So unfolding is done. Now you can just go to rotate tool, rotate this, and you can just scale it and arrange it over here. Okay. So just arrange it here. And you can switch on the checker because the checker size is very important. So select the checker and just check it out how the checker comes on the model. The checker shouldn't get any stretch, so then only it will be a perfect unwrapping. So I think everything is perfect. Now I can open a UV editor and just switch off the checker. So I'm going to export this model in two versions. One will be a lower version, another one is a higher version. So I'm going to export it. Before that, open this UV editor and just check it out. Any overlapping is there or not. So you can just go to view, shaded you can switch on. In shaded mode, it should look like bluish. Then only the UVs are perfect. So when you are finding some different color over here in UV space, then your UV is not properly unwrapped. So you can make sure that your UV should have a bluish color in the shading. So you can just go to view, switch off this shaded, you can change it to wireframe. Now I'm going to export this file. You can just export selection and make this as a OBJ and export selection. And already I created some file over here. I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to choose as a class. And in this, I'm going to choose C1 low. Okay. Lower version, just export selection. Then after that, we have to export entire everything we have to do. So I am selecting all together. Once again, I am doing this export selection over here, and just click on export selection. Yes. And now we are going to smooth this geometry a couple of times. Maybe you can do a smooth twice. That will be fine. So now you can export this to your Then click on export selection. It's done now. Now we have to open Substance Painter. So I'm going to open Substance Painter. In the Substance Painter, we are going to import the lower version of Stephen head. Then we are trying to make the high resolution head on the low resolution head model. Okay. So that is the process we are going to do now. And just watch. Yes, it's done. So I'm going to file now, a new, and I'm trying to select the mesh, low poly mesh, class, and I'm going to choose Stephen Low, OBJ. The resolution on that we can keep it as 1024 initially, or we can make it 2048 and just click on. The model will load over here in your viewport. Okay, and the model is in a hard mode. So we want to convert this into smooth mode. Then we should bake the high resolution poly model on this low resolution mesh. So for that, texture set settings, you can go here and you can just click on bake mesh maps. In this, you can just choose this map output size to 2048, and here high definition meshes we can load it. Just click on this icon to load the high definition mesh. Once it's loaded, just scroll down, don't touch anything, just go down and choose this mesh match always by mesh name. You can just prefer that, and you can try to click on bake Lambert 3G mesh maps. Just click on this. Just click. It will start to bake all the information on your model. So slowly it's happening. So once it's done, you can see the updates in your project shelf. So you can just go here. So it's happening. It's done. So you can just go to project. Here you can see all the maps. Okay, whatever the maps which is very important for our texturing process, everything is done now. Now what we have to do, we have to prepare a model for base texture information. For that, what we have to do, we have to go to material. You can just go here, click on material. You can choose skin. Okay. So here we have a different type of skins. We can, based on the purpose, we can choose that facial hair skin, and we have a human eyebrow skin, human cheek skin. So many variety of skins are available. So whichever the skin is suitable for us, we can prefer that. Because in the older version, we have only one skin tone. So based on that, we have to apply a variety of textures. But here, the total human body is split into variety of skin tones. So we have more options to do that. But I'm not going to use all this option because it will take so much time. Because for mouth, you can apply a mouth and you can remove other area. Like that, it will take so much time. Because of that, I'm not going to use a different type of skin. I'm going to use a base skin for human skin, shiny skin. Maybe I can try this. Just drag and drop. Okay, so the skin texture applied over here. But I should check. See, the skin pattern is something different. I should go to properties. In the properties, I should increase the scale value, then only I can find out the detail over here. See here. When I increase this detail at the scale value, I can get the information. See, I noticed one thing here. When I import the model and I use Lambert for the shader, what happened? The entire model comes in one single shader. The Lambert 3SG. Now, even when I try to open 3D and 2D space, just press F. I can see the head unwrapping, and at the same time we have a eye unwrapping also. No problem. Already in the previous class we discussed about polygon fill. So with the help of that we can do the texturing process. But I don't want to go to that level. In the beginning stage itself, I try to convert into two individual meshes that will be easy for us to go further. So I am trying to go for one more time. I am going to import this low poly. So just bear with me. 1040, just click on OK, discard, and you can just go to bake mesh maps and try to import the high resolution mesh. But here I am trying to go with match always. You can go with, don't try to choose by mesh name. Just click on bake Lambert. Just click on this. I think we should get two layers, two textures that list over here. Because when we apply a shader in Maya, see here, you have to check it out here. So which shader you are using over here, based on that only it will come over. So just Lambert 3, and for I, which shader you are using, just check it out. This is also Lambert 3. So I should change this to Lambert 4. Then only we can get a separate texture shape over there. So now we can select this and go for export selection in high poly. Just export selection. You got the idea, na? Because later stage it shouldn't create any problem. That is the reason I am changing now. I am trying to make this to hard mode to export the low poly version now. Select this and try to export selection, and stream on low, export selection, it's done now. So now when we go for substance painter, you just select this, try to go with the low poly, and try to OK discard, and try to use bake mesh maps. See here now you can come to know that different shader we applied on body mesh and the eye mesh. Because of that I got two different shade over here, texture set over here. It will be easy for us to apply different texture for the skin as well as eye. So that is the thing we did now. And bake mesh maps, you can use high resolution mesh. And you can just go ahead with this. Click on bake all textures. Now it's taking a little bit time to do. Once it's done, we can start the process. Yes, it's done now. Now all the, see here, we got only the head mesh. When you click on Lambert 4SG, you can get the eye separately. So you can rename this as an eye, and you can rename this as a face. Okay, it will be easy for us to identify this. Now I want to work in bigger screen, so just go here, F2 is the shortcut key, and I'm trying to apply a shader over here. This is a human shine skin, just drag and drop, and I would like to increase the scale value. When I increase the scale value, I can get nice skin shade over here. I should switch over to high resolution texture, then only I can see the difference. Instead of 1024, you can go to 2048. It will update over here. In case you want very much high detail, you can go to 4K. See here, it's coming like this. We can just increase this scale value a little bit more to get more detail in this skin texture. Okay. So now the base skin texture is available now. Now we should prepare for our other process. Like we have a skin over here, this just increase this layer portion a little bit up because we are going to arrange so many layers over here. So human skin, science skin is there. Above that, we have to use a fill layer because I told you in this head we need to use three different colors. One is a red, yellow, and gray shade. We need to use to create a multiple color combination for our head because of bone, because of blood flow, and because of stubble. We need to use all these textures together to achieve a final output. So now I'm going to use a fill layer and rename this as a red face because I'm trying to use this entire red color for the whole face for now. So you can try to change the color over here. Just select this color layer and go down and choose this base color as a red. Okay. So don't worry, we are not going to use this model as a Hellboy. So we are trying to apply a black mask over here. So once you apply black mask, that red color will hide. Now we have to give a look and feel that the variety, that means variance, we should show in our texture. At the same time, I don't want to apply on both sides of the head with my texturing process. I'm trying to switch on the symmetry. So L is the shortcut key to go for symmetry. Now the model is ready with the symmetry process. Now I'm going to choose the brush because the red color we are going to apply on the head model. But which brush we are going to use over here, that is very important. Here I can identify a few brushes like dirt we have. But compared with the dirt, one more brush we have that is called cotton. So cotton brush, it's very perfect brush for our texturing process over here. So now you can just increase the brush size and you can just try to apply a stroke over here and you can see the difference. See? It will give you that nerves under the skin. We have a nerve system. So that kind of effect we can get through this cotton. So I'm not going to use this much intensity. So I'm going to reduce the stroke opacity over here and flow value also. And now you can apply here. See? It will be like this. Even you can use watch this output in channel. In channel, press C, you can get the channel. So in the channel, you can see how the texturing affect this model. So in the nose area, you can apply, and especially this ear, you can use this reddish, right? And you can just press 2 to remove the extra color over here. Just remove this. And you can try to press 1 to take this cotton brush once again and try to apply over here. And you can increase the brush size and try to apply over here. Okay. The lip area also you can try. It shouldn't be like a uniform. It's randomly you can apply stroke. Click, click, click. It will come. That is the beauty of this, because when we apply as a stroke, it won't be nice. So randomly you can add this. Then finally you can take some brushes and try to apply. That will be different. See, now I applied the stroke over here. Now I can get some good look in this material. See here. Now we got a random red color on the face. Now it's looking like a zombie. Don't worry. You can just reduce the strength of this red face from 100 to 60 or somewhere. It will be nice. Okay. So red we applied over here. at the same time we can go for one more layer, that is for yellow. Okay, so you can go back and try to apply one more layer, fill layer. This fill layer should be yellow. Okay, and in this yellow we should choose the yellow color. Okay, so after that you can apply a black mask. Okay, so once you apply black mask, you can take the same cotton brush and you can try to apply stroke over here. Wherever the bones are very close to the skin, those areas you can apply yellow stroke. Okay, so just reduce the brush size and try to apply in this nose area. In this area you can try to apply. Forehead also you can. And you can just try to apply here. And this is also very close to the bone, and this jaw also we have, and this chin also we can. Okay, and don't worry, we can try to reduce this strength over here in the layer. Try to apply. Try to apply here. Okay. So now randomly we apply. So just to go back to 2, and you can reduce this flow and stroke opacity and try to increase the brush size and remove little yellow area from here. So like randomness we can create with the help of our brush. Okay, so like this. And after this, we can try to just go back. Just go back and try to apply yellow. And 2 to remove this a little bit. Okay, so now it's looking nice. Just try to apply here, and 2, just remove this. Okay. Now what we have to do, we have to reduce this strength from 100 to 50. Yes, 50 or 25, that is also fine. See here, now we got a randomness over here. And then what we need to do, we need to add one more color. It's like a gray. So gray tone we need to apply on this eye, near to the eye part, and even we can apply on the jaw area and this skull area in the top. So for that I am trying to create one more layer. So this layer, it's a fill layer, and this one I am trying to rename this as a gray. Gray. Okay, and you can just apply a black mask. Before that, you can choose the color. To choose gray color. Okay, so you can just go for gray. Yes. Okay, and try to apply black mask over here. And now you can choose the same cotton brush. It's very simple process. That's why I try to show in same cotton brush. I try to apply all the textures. And see here, now I can do the process over here. So just zoom it. So it's taking time because it will automatically save your file. Okay. And even you can reduce the resolution because the resolution is 4K. When you go for a very high detail texturing, at the time of upgrading or updating the texture, it will take too much time. So instead of that, you can just reduce this resolution to 2K, and even 1K also make your texturing process fast. Here, just like this, you can try to apply. And you can just go here. It's very mild gray we are applying on the model. And reduce the brush size and try to apply some detail in this closer area of this here. Okay, so just apply here also. In this area, even this point also you can apply, no problem. This you can apply. Okay. So you can just apply here and go back to 2. Just remove this a little bit, and even you can reduce this, you can increase. You can reduce it very less because you need to have a control on this. Just apply a stroke and try to make it gray. Just click, 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 that will be better. And try to go for 2. Just remove this. Okay. And just try to remove the gray color from your stroke, just slightly. Then what we have to do, we have to apply this one. The value you can reduce. See here, totally 0, it will be different. But when you keep it like this, it will be perfect. See here, 65, somewhere around 70 is looking good, right? And after this, I would like to create one more red face. Right click, go for duplicate layer. When you duplicate this, you can get more reddish, but I want to take a control on this. Right click, apply black mask. Now I'm trying to use this red for my eye area and this lip area. So I'm trying to go here and apply the same cotton brush over here and try to apply. Okay, so just take a stroke. See here, you can see the difference, right? And you can just apply a nose area. Okay, and even you can go for this. You can reduce the brush size. Try to apply stroke on the lip area. It should look like lip. Don't apply like too much red. Then it will be looking like a female, like a lipstick. It shouldn't be like that. So reduce the brush size and try to apply. So once you apply, no problem. We have a control to reduce this intensity. Here, we can reduce. How much you want, we can keep it like this. Okay. So now it's looking good, right? And actually, this character is having some stubble, like shaved hair kind of look we need to give. Basically, this character is a very rough and tough guy. This guy is a Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is a wrestler. So most of the time, he used to keep his face shaved haircut. Like its entire head will be shaved, and he is looking like a ball. So mostly he is having a bald head and in the front. The back side he is having a little bit hair. But even though he used to shave that hair, so to get that effect, we need to use one more layer. That layer we need to use for that hair. Okay, so just create one more layer. This layer you can type for hair. Okay, and this color should be green. Okay, so like this you can use the green color, and then you can go for black mask. Now you can choose the same cotton brush, okay, and just increase the brush size and reduce the stroke opacity and flow value. Then you can start to apply this green color stroke over here. See? You can just apply. Later stage, you can remove extra green color, and you can reduce the intensity of this green. Okay. So reduce the brush size and try to apply. Okay, you can just increase the brush size. Okay, so like this. You try to apply a stroke over here. Just go ahead and try to apply this area. Just apply on this back side. So just watch. We are trying to create that ball peel in our texturing process itself. So he is having a little bit bald head in this area. So we can just change the light direction and just look into this area. Okay. So we got the texture over here, and we can go with entire intensity of stroke and flow, reduce it, and you can randomly apply your stroke over here and there. Okay. And you can try to apply over here. At the same time, you can reduce the value over here. Instead of keeping green, you can just make it. See here now, it's only 39. So 39 gives a nice effect. And you can try to apply, you can try to remove some green tone over here. Yes, you can try to remove this. So you can try to apply the stroke, right? Okay, so now it's perfect. I think we got a nice look and feel for this character. Even you want to add some yellowish over here, because this yellow, obviously we need to create on this area, this part, because this is very close to the skull part. So you can try to apply your stroke over here. Okay. So just go here and try to apply stroke. Then yes. You can just switch on and switch off. And here we have to find out which area we need to focus. Okay. I think this portion, you can try to apply some reddish color. Okay. So, and then you can apply yellow. So 53 is there. Now you can go for yellow and apply yellow. Okay. Okay, so overall, the head texture, it's ready now, because the combination of colors we use over here in a different layer, it's perfect now. Now what we have to do, we have to create a eyebrow, and we need to create a mustache, And the French beard, he used to keep French beard for his face hairstyle. Then we have to create a stubble peel on this head area and this chin area. So for that, I'm trying to create one more layer. Okay, so this layer I'm going to rename it as a stubble. Okay, and this one I'm trying to apply some color because he is a British guy or American. So his hairstyle should have some brown color. Okay, dark brown style is okay. Okay, like this you can keep it, or light brown also fine. Okay, so now you can try to apply black. Now this area we need to apply that stubble strokes. So how to use that? For that we have to prefer a proper brush stroke. Which brush is suitable for that? We can just go for spot spray. So there is this brush called spot spray. This brush is suitable for this. So once you select the brush, before selecting the brush, you can just go for properties. In the properties, you can just increase the height value because the stubble should come out of the skin. So that is the reason we have increased this height value. Just choose the stubble and try to apply a stroke over here and just check it out how it is. Yeah, it's coming good. I think. Yes. Right. We can just apply on this bottom. Right. We go down and try to apply over here. Yes, it's perfect. And one more thing. When you are going to apply a French beard over here, those areas no need to keep a stubble. Okay. So you can remove it. We will remove it later also, no problem. And just assign the stubble texture over here. In this area also, we can go. Okay. You can just apply a nice texture. You can just go down and we can try to okay, so you can go with one more option. So I'm trying to do like this. And we can try to reduce this value. That means stubble value here we have a strength, we can reduce this value. Maybe like this. And this is okay because this one it's affect only the color information, right? See here, this is 100, 0, 100, 0. But I want to keep this hair information over here, but I want to reduce the height level. So instead of 0.06, you can make it 0.03. Okay, so that will be fine. And now we can reduce this level of this color information. It will be nice, right? See here. At the same time, we can just go back to the stubble layer and try to remove this color information because some area it's not a uniform, it's something different. You can just increase the stroke opacity and flow and try to remove this stubble over here. Okay, so here now it's done. When this area also we can remove it, it won't come, right? And in this ear area, you can try to remove this extra strokes. Okay. And in this neck area also, you can remove it. And Yes, I think it's perfect. And you want to give more color information over here, you can keep no issues. And try to remove this portion. So you can just remove this, just apply, try to bring this light in back side and try to, yes, this is a perfect style now. Yeah, you can just move this light inside. Yeah. Okay, so now I got some detail. So now I can try to give more information over here. Just want to give more detail in this table. You can just go ahead with one more line of stroke to give a good look and feel on the texture. Okay, so it's done now. So now what we have to do, we have to add a French veer on the front area. So for that, the stubble layer is done. Now we have to create one more layer for French veer. So create one more layer. Instead of one more layer, the same color information we require to apply for the French veer. For that, I can duplicate this layer, right click and duplicate this layer, and you can rename this as a French veer. French veer. Now I am trying to remove this mask because of this mask it's taking too dark information because same information doubled over here. So right click, apply mask, black mask. Now I'm going with the one more stroke, one more brush to create a hairstyle. Okay, create a that French veer. For that I'm trying to take a brush called hair. HAIR. You can get a different variety of brushes over here. I am trying to choose this hair lines. This hair lines, it's nice to have here. You can try to apply it. See here, it will be like this. Okay, so now when you apply a stroke like this, you can try to give a nice stroke. And one more thing, in this stroke should have a height information, because with this height information, it will be there. It will your hairstyle will be nice. Okay. So even this one you can increase the height level, not a problem. But first you can apply a stroke over here and reduce the size of the brush and try to apply. Okay, and just try to apply, and can just increase the brush size and try to apply stroke on this area. We can fine tune this stroke at a later stage. Don't worry. Just apply up to here. Yes, it should be like this, and this one we can bring it here. Yes, we can try to take a stroke and even the side view and just apply. Same stroke you can try to apply a couple of times over here. Then it will come like this. And to remove the stroke from this excess areas, you can reduce the brush size and remove this. And this is also looking nice, but we should complete this two steps. So you can try to go for stroke 1 and reduce the brush nice like this. Okay, so it will be like this, and you can try to like this. It's nice. So now you can try to go for few more steps. Like you want to give thick stroke over here for this mustache, you can add, and so here you can do like this. And to reduce this, remove this stroke, excess strokes over here. Just increase the opacity, because when you remove, it should remove the entire stroke. So you can increase the strength of this bag. Okay. And yes, then it's done. Okay. And you want to add a few more strokes over here. Yes, you can. Okay, so now it's looking nice. I think I can add some more stroke over here. Right. So it will be like this. We can try to add a few more. Yes, it's looking perfect. You want to clean this mustache area, you can try to go for a tooth and just trim this mustache. Okay. Yes, it's done. Try to remove this, and I can try to go here. So it should be fine tuned over here. Okay, even you can fine tune this area. Just try to remove this. Yes, now it's looking nice, and I think we got a very nice mustache, French beard. And now what we are going to do here is select this base color and increase the height. So instead of this 0.02, you can make it 0.06. So when you do this, it will give a little bit detail over here. See, instead of this 0.06, you can make it 0.5. It's too much. You can just reduce this to 0.5 instead of 5.3. You can make it 0.1. That is also fine. Oh, 1 is too much. 0.1 is okay, right? See here, now it's looking nice, and almost we got an idea about the skin tone. And one more thing we need to do here, go to this red face, because this red face area not only for the face, even for the back skin also, right? So you can try to switch on the symmetry, okay, and you can try to apply stroke over here. Just try to apply cotton. Select the cotton brush, press 1 and increase the brush size, okay, and try to apply. Whatever. The brush is not cotton, it's a hair brush. Change the cotton brush and increase the brush size and reduce the stroke opacity and reduce the flow. Then you can start to apply. Yes, here it's light. When you can do some random effect, random stroke, it will be nice. And even you can try to turn the direction of the light over here and try to apply stroke on this area. Okay, so just increase this. So like this we can do. Okay. So you can try to go back to 2 and randomly you can apply the stroke. But when you apply this random, it should be minimum. It shouldn't be in the maximum level. So minimum level, you can try to give some random effect on the skin. It won't show it's a very uniform stroke. See here, it will be like this. Got it? So I think now you got an idea of this. And 2, we can just go closer to this ear area, try to reduce this brush size, and try to apply a stroke over here. Yes, you can try to apply this red color in this area also. You can do it. And even I think this face area now is okay. Now we have to do a eyebrow. Eyebrow also we need to do. So try to take one more copy of this French beard and try to take a duplicate layer. And now it should be like eyebrow, right? So you can just type eyebrow and apply a mask over here, black mask, and try to go with same hair brush, okay, and try to apply a stroke over here because already the character expression is angry. So when the character is angry, our eyebrow also should be in that shape. So we can just try to apply. Okay, and like this we can try. So we can reduce the brush and try to apply the stroke over here. Just go closer and try to go for 2 and reduce the brush size and try to trim this eyebrow area. So you can try to remove this stroke, right? Okay. Right. We can just go for this one. So you can try to go for 2 and try to reduce this. I think this is fine. And even you can just check it out here. Some strokes are there. You can remove it with your 2 button. 2 brush you can use and remove it. So now go for red face. In this area you can try to apply cotton. Because why I prefer this cotton here, because this area should be a little bit more reddish. That's why I'm trying to apply this reddish. And gray, you can, now we are trying to fine tune this area. Gray, I'm trying to apply a little bit stroke over here. But the stroke is too high. I'm trying to undo this. I'm trying to reduce the stroke opacity and flow and try to increase the brush size and just slightly you can apply stroke. Okay. And this area is looking too yellow, right? See? I'm trying to apply a stroke over here and I'm trying to remove this. Just to remove this portion. or you can go for 60, 20 like this. I'm trying to switch off. Sorry. Okay, I'm working on gray phase. Yellow, I should see here. There's a difference, right? So I'm trying to remove this. See here. Just increase the brush size and to cotton brush. The cotton brush is in too much intensity, so you can just reduce the first flow and try to apply. And to remove this randomly, you can remove. Don't use normally. Randomly here and there, you can just remove. Okay, it will be nice. Okay, so now I think we got some idea about the hair mesh and French beard over here. Now we are trying to focus on this eye. So I am not going to give a very detailed human eye. I am going to give a basic cartoonish type of eye style, and it will be nice for rendering. So go for eye shader. So eye texture shade you can choose, and you can try to apply eye texture over here. Just go for 3D and 2D and try to go closer and choose this fill layer. In this fill layer, you can apply pure white color, okay? And this white color we apply over here. Now what we have to do, we have to go for one more layer. This is a eye base. One more layer you can try. So eye purple, we need to go with one more color, like this is a light brown. Okay, then it should be dark. So we can go for black mask, and I'm going to choose a brush, basic hard brush. Okay, and I'm trying to apply a stroke. Okay, so when I click over here, you can see the difference in this. You just click. I should choose this brush. One. Oh, sorry. This brush should be bigger. Okay, it should be strong brush. I think. Yes. Now it will come. See here, it will come here in this way. So what I can do, I can reduce the brush size and I can try to apply. It's nice. Stroke is perfect. Okay. And now I am trying to copy this one more layer, and this one is what we can say eyeball. Eye texture 1, and this one eye texture 0, 2. So in this, I am trying to go for the texture, and I am trying to make this texture dark. Okay, and now I am trying to apply a stroke over here. Just reduce the brush size. Because with this one, I think it should be okay. This one, remove, add black mask. Yes. Now I can use this one. Just watch. Increase this brush size a little bit bigger and try to apply here. It's done. Nice. And one more texture you can do here. Duplicate layer. And this one should be white. Okay. And here remove black mask. Now I am trying to use one more mask over here. Just reduce this. It's a Photoshop technique only. I'm trying to click over here. Right? See here. I think this area shouldn't be. This one is perfect, right? Yes. Now it's done. Similarly, we can do the same thing over here. I think I have a eyeball on this side also, but I couldn't check over here because see, in this one we have eyeball. It's looking at transparency because of this normal issue. But don't worry, we can get this because in the same mesh area only we have this eyeball texture. So when you apply the texture over here, it will apply over here also. No issues. Okay. So now I am trying to make this entire texture in 4K. Okay. So here I am trying to choose this to 4K. It will take time to load the texture over here, and I am trying to select the space, and I am trying to increase this to 4K. Okay. So the texture is loading now. It's taking time. Yeah, perfect now. See, all the detail is very nice. Correct? And you want to clean the, see here we have some dots and all. We can clean that. Otherwise, the texturing is perfect for the character, right? And you can just check it out in the back side. Even the stubble 90 instead of French beer stubble, you can reduce this from 90 to somewhere around 50 something. It will be nice, correct? And even this area you can make it a little bit reddish. It's up to you. It's your creative. You can use it. Okay. And I want to render this in iRay in Substance Painter. Just click on this rendering iRay button. How it looks, we can check it out. Yes, it's looking nice. And I don't want to see any background color. So you can just go down, clear color button you can just click on, and it will remove entire thing. See, it's perfect. See here, eyeball is here. Because in the both side we can see this eye. It's looking nice. Correct? Because if this is a low poly version, it's not a high poly. Because of that, some odd edges are looking here and there. You can correct it in the texturing process in Photoshop. Okay, so it's done now almost. So I think up to now we discussed so many things. Any queries? Amarji, any queries now? Because next one we are going to check the output in Maya. We are going to export the texture. Yeah.
Correct. There is just one question we have. Sir, is it possible to have the work review?
Sorry?
There is one student who is asking, sir, is it possible to have the work review?
Your voice is breaking, Ranjit. Hello?
Now you can hear me?
Yes, I can.
There is a question from Nihil. Sir, is it possible to have work review?
Work review.
Work, student work review.
Student work review now?
Not now. Correct.
We can do.
Correct. So I request to the all these students to share their work with the center. Center we can upload to the regional academic. I can definitely give you the review. There is one.
Your voice is going down and coming up. Like that.
I guess you did something interesting.
Okay. Yeah, tell me now.
Okay, there is one more question.
Okay.
how to create skin from scratch.
How to create a skin from scratch? Huh?
Skin pore.
Skin pores. The
Yeah.
pores.
Pores.
See,
What was-
actually, correct. The skin pores and all, no need to worry because it will take too much time. Because of that, only Substance Painter, they already given all the basic textures for us in the shells. So don't worry about that. Take that information, start to construct the skin texture as I did today. That will be easiest process to create your texturing.
Okay. There is a one.
Anything else?
Yeah, there are many questions.
Okay.
There is a question from the Meenakshi. And alpha on a while object.
Oh my God. Your voice is going down and coming up. How to apply?
Alpha on a whole
Alpha.
object. On whole object.
See, alpha you can import as a texture information from in the Substance Painter. See here, in this there is a button, there is an icon over here. You can click on this icon, you can download. I think in the last session itself, we discussed about that, how to import alpha image and how to apply a texture on the model. And I think in the robo and the flying bot, I showed that. I showcased that information. So that one already we discussed. So you can import the resource and you can apply on the model. Then it will give a transparent label kind of stuff you can apply on the model easily. Or a tattoo, yes, that is also possible.
Right. There is a question from the Nilesh. What happens if we upload only high poly model?
No problem. Your system configuration is too good. Yes, you can upload a direct high poly model in Substance Painter and you can do a texturing process. No issues. Because only texturing and modeling surely you want to do, then no issues. You can do high poly texturing also. But when you are working for a game engine, then you need to consider this process, the baking process, what we did in today's class. That process will help you because in low poly model itself we can apply a high detailed texture information. That is the gaming process. That's the reason now most of the gaming companies are prefer to use Substance Painter for their set or environment or character, whatever.
Pipeline they are using it.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a one question from Srijita. How to activate symmetry?
Yeah, L is the shortcut key. Letter L.
Letter L. Okay.
Yeah.
There is a one big question from Gate. Sir, you just smooth the mesh to get high poly. Do we need only to smooth or also add smooth mesh preview before exporting?
See, here we did the baking process. In the baking process, the high poly, the low poly information, we are trying to bake with the high poly texture information. So because of that, it's looking like smooth. Actually, the mesh is hard mode only. When I click on wireframe, you can see the mesh is still in hard mode, right? Because of that baking process, it's looking like smooth. Definitely, you have to go with the baking process when you are choosing a low poly model. Suppose you are using a high poly model, that's why I told you, high poly model, most of the production houses, they may prefer, because at the time of final process and rendering, they have to use high poly version for final output. That time they can go ahead. But when it depends upon the pipeline. You are working for a gaming pipeline or you are working for a production pipeline, it's totally different. So based on that, you have to prefer which mesh you are going to use for your pipeline.
Correct. There is one question from Monica. Sir, my question is that how we can use perfectly UV editor for texturing?
Just now I showed, today class. from scratch only we started, right? How to unwrap the model UV in Maya and how to export the UV and model into Substance Painter. Then how to construct the texturing, everything we discussed in today's class. So from the beginning you attend this class, definitely you will get the idea.
Okay, there is a question from Shubhadeep. Sir,
Okay.
sir, where can we see the previous sessions for some doubt clearing? This is what we can do. We are also doing continuously the repeat webcast for the previous sessions, right? You can ask your center to share the email, right? So we'll try to do the webcast. There is one question, sir, for the realistic modeling के लिए है to Maya में बनाएंगे ना? Yes, Saurabh. For that we will use the XGen.
That is different. See,
That is
definitely you can go with the real hair simulation and all. But if maybe it's a budget project, then we can't go with XGen. We have to go with the fake hair mesh, like Substance, how we did now. Similar pattern. But this Steven is not having a hair. He's a bald head guy, so no problem with our project. But when the character is having a full of hair, then definitely we need to prefer XGen for the pipeline.
okay. Correct. Wow, there is a very nice question. Mari or Substance?
See, mostly we prefer to go with Substance now. Mari, yes, they are using for a high detailed modeling and texturing process. Mari, they preferred in production houses. But still, we are using Substance Painter. Mostly in another couple of years, Mari also will come into pipeline for Agri Studios.
Okay.
Then,
We'll just take this from the screen. Okay, I guess those only are the relevant questions as of now. Suresh, you can continue, please.
yeah, so now we are going to export the texture information into Maya and we are going to use Arnold for lighting. Okay, so how we are going to export the textures and how we can arrange in Maya, we are going to discuss now. So everything is ready now. You can just go to File and you can try to apply, click on Export Textures. When you click on Export Texture, it will show the path, default path it will show. You can try to click on this Export button and choose the path over here. I'm trying to choose my path over here in webinar. Just select the paste texturing and session, class. I want to apply all the texture information over here. Just click on select folder and then you can try to click on export. Before exporting, make sure that your textures are in 4K resolution. Because whenever you have a 4K resolution, then only you can get a very nice output in your rendering output. So click on export. It will take some time to export this texture information. So it's taking time. Because the 4K is a very high resolution, because of that it's taking a little bit time to load the texturing. So otherwise, how the today's session, how you feel? So you can just type. I couldn't see your chat information. Amarji will check it and he will share it. So today's session is interesting or boring, whatever. You can share your feedback.
Suresh, it is but always a very interesting subject. I hope most of the students will learn lots of things from that.
Oh, okay. Okay, so now the texture is exported. Now we can open the folder. So we got a very nice texture list over here. So we are going to load this texture in Maya. So already we have a Maya file over here. I'm going to apply Arnold shader over here. So go to Window, Rendering Editors, Hypershade. In Hypershade, we have to load one new tab. In the new tab, I am trying to apply Arnold standard shader. Okay, so just click on Arnold and you can choose Arnold standard surface shader. In this, I am trying to apply base color. So you can try to go for base color over here. In this color, you can try to load the color information. So just click on File and click on this folder and try to go back. I should identify session class folder. In the class folder, I have a base color. Yes, this is base color we applied for the character. Just click on Open. Okay, so the 4K resolution texture is loaded over here. Okay, and then next we can just go down and try to apply roughness over here. So try to go to color balance and 1 minute. Just select this, go to attribute editor, and I can load color information over here. Just I'm trying to use subsurface specular. In this, we can go to roughness. In the roughness, we can add roughness texture file and just load the roughness. Okay. So you can just check it out. Roughness. Open this. Okay. So when you open this, we have to do one small change over here. Especially when you are loading a roughness, you can just click on this alpha is luminance. When you click on alpha is luminance, it will take that specular information and it will exaggerate a little bit more on your scene. Okay. And once this one is done, now color information is loaded and roughness is loaded over here, and we have to switch on the subsurface. Just increase the subsurface. Once you increase the subsurface value, you can get the subsurface color and radius button active. Now you can try to go here on the checker box, load the same color information over here. The base color information, you can try to load it here. Okay. And similar way, you can load it on this radius also. Just click on File. Try to load the radius once again. So that means now your model comes with the subsurface scattering. So you can just go down. What is pending with us? The bump mapping is pending. You can just go to bump mapping in geometry. Click on this button, checker button. Load the checker. So you can try to go with checker, parenthesis, it's normal. See here, this is a checker. This is a normal. You can load it as an image, and you can try to go here and just check it out. See, already it's applied over here. Now we have to go with the lighting process. Before that, you should check the bump depth value. So 0.1 instead of 1, you can make it 0.1. That will be great. Or you can make it 0.5, 0.3, something you can add. So it will give some detail over here. We will do it. We'll check it out in later because tangent space normal, object space normal is there. You can just go with tangent space normal because tangent space normal based on the tangent, that is based on the normal direction, it will give a normal mapping. So you can just use for this and try to go back, and here you have to apply this texture information on the model. So you can try to open this hypershade. Now you can try to apply, just drag and drop. Okay, and we have to apply the texture for the eye also. So this one you can double click. This is how to manage the hypershade. This is the idea. You can just type as a face, okay, and you can just click on this plus mark, add one more tab. In this, you can type it as eye texture, okay, and you can try to bring this standard surface and not standard surface, and here you can just load the eyeball texture file. You can try to load this eyeball texture over here. Just click on open, okay, and you can assign this to your eyeball. Just drag and drop over here, and similarly we can just drag and drop over here. It's done. Now I'm going to switch off this wireframe on shaded. It's perfect, right? Now I have one light over here, area light. Already I bought it over here. Two lights I fixed over here. I'm trying to, this two lights is not enough. Yes, I'm trying to apply one smooth for this model. Okay, and I'm going back and I'm trying to do a Arnold render. Okay, this is an old one, so I'm trying to do a new rendering process. This is taking time. Okay, okay. Because without HDRI, when you load texture and when you try to do lighting and rendering, it will take time. And I think this render quality also too high. I should reduce the render quality. So go to common and reduce this from HD to 540. So that will save time. At the same time, I should go to AO. Suppose you want pauses, you can take the pauses, shadow, diffuse, indirect pauses. You can load it here. So at the time of final rendering process, you should focus on this camera. You have to add 5 because these are the samples value and these are the quality settings. When you have a subsurface scattering, you should increase the value to at least 5 to see some realistic output in rendering. So all these settings, once you did, and ray depth also, you can change this value. Instead of 2 diffuse, you can make it 5. So that will make your output a little bit good. And specular also, you can make it 2. Okay, so these are the value. It's a random value. It's not a exact values, because when you do in a random way only, you can come to know which one is the best setting for your output. And even in the filter, you can just choose this Gaussian and adaptive sampling. You can just enable it because everything is a quality, so it will increase the quality output. And next, without HDRI, it won't complete over here. You can just go to Arnold. You can choose this light, sky dome light. Once you keep the sky dome light, and in the sky dome light color, you can load the HDRI image. So we can try to download. I already downloaded a HDRI image in the HDRI Heaven website. So that HDRI image, I'm going to load it over here. That is a 6.3 MB size Christmas photo studio. Just open it. See here, select this and try to rotate this. How detailed you want, you can keep it like this. Okay, and try to keep it here and take a render output. That's it. So once you did, so because subsurface scattering we use, so because of that, I arrange the light in 2 directions. Okay, this will help you to give a translucence effect inside the skin. So wherever the thin surface comes, those areas you can get that translucent effects. Okay. So I'm trying to take a render output here. Just go for annulled, open annulled render. Okay, just click on this button. Yes, it's coming now. It will take some time. Up to that time, you have any queries or any doubts, you can ask me now. Then we will proceed. Any doubts?
Yes, Sureshji, there are many questions. Yes. Okay. Let's open the questions tab for you.
Okay.
Okay, so how we can make an HDRI image from the Apurva? Apurva, what you can do, you can go to the HDRI Heaven. That is a website where you can download till 24K, HDRI map, right? For the making a HDRI map, you have to use the Chrome hole with the DSLR camera. You need to do the process to make HDRI. Which light is best for rendering? Neha Dash. Suresh, this question is for you. Which light is best for rendering?
See, there is no, all the lights is good for rendering. There is no restriction to use lighting for rendering. It depends upon the scene. So suppose you want to do very good lighting and you don't expect the time duration, or you are ready to spend more time for rendering, then I can suggest you area light is the best light in Arnold, and the sky dome light is a very good light. So it will give you a very nice output in rendering. Okay, so now the industry is moving to the next level of technology. The real-time rendering is occupying the entire space now. It's going to occupy. So for that, you have to learn about real-time rendering in Unreal. So in Unreal, you don't need to worry about this much time. So it will give you a realistic output in real-time rendering process. Very milliseconds itself, it will calculate the movement, and it will observe the shaders, and it will give you the output in your screen. Okay, that is the level of technology all the industry people are expecting now, because 3/4 of the time they are spending in production for rendering. So they don't want to spend that much time for rendering. They want to complete the project very quickly. Because of that, they prefer to move towards Unreal. Soon this changes is going to happen. So you people can focus on Unreal and try to upgrade yourself in Unreal to learn about real-time rendering. That is the next level of technology. Okay? Yes, I think I answered a question.
Correct. Yes, very much true. There is a very nice questions from the the Hollywood films. What CGI used for Paul Walker in Furious 7? From Indish.
I don't know. Are you aware of that, Amarji? You can just explain to him. I didn't aware of that.
Yeah, Mr. Paul Walker was, the expert due to the car accident. They have used multiple, a body double.
Yes.
We can say body double. They have, the face. They have used his brother, right? Who made his body structures. They have replaced the face. So there are multiple. Each and every production have their own productions pipeline. You can say into the main also. Okay, there is a one more questions. Just 1 second. From Nikita. So you have kept the color space on sRGB and another one is a raw. That I have tried. What are the difference between the two?
Which one? sRGB?
Her question is, you have kept the color space on sRGB and another one is a raw that she has tried. What are the difference between two?
sRGB and raw. So where in here in the settings you are asking? So mostly, see, sRGB is normally we used to do. When you use a raw, it is based on the settings, the output will be little different. I hope I am giving a right answer. Amarji, you can correct me if I am wrong.
I would like to give the answer for this question. See, when we talk about raw file format, so raw file format means what? We are not losing any detail. When we talk about the 3D software, that is connected with the transform. Transform means if I'm importing any image from any other, from the image to the Maya, so that's coming to the sRGB. When I'm importing HDRI light, it always come into the raw. If any students want to see that, they can go to the Maya setting preferences, color management. There they have the sRGB and the raw. So that is a file structure. When we talk about raw, in raw we are not losing any light details or the textures details, right? It obviously gonna reach to the higher, the image size if we do render. Now, what are the benefits of the HDRI? My every pixels become a light. My every dome, skylight dome, my every face is becoming a light. It's emitting a light on that particular material or textures. So that's why we use the raw file format. I hope we have answered your questions. Saurabh is asking, sir, teach Unreal. Suresh, you teach Unreal?
Unreal, okay. So we have to discuss Amarji with our boss.
No problem. How to export image in 360 angle? Harsh Parmar. Harsh, that is the render setting. That is not either part of our today's session, but we'll definitely try to cover into the rendering tips and tricks. So we'll show you how to do the VR render. Okay,
yes.
Thank you, Peeta. Can you share the image reference of this model from the Hemant?
Okay, this model. Okay. I will share because it's a reference. You can just check it out in ArtStation because I downloaded in ArtStation. How many of you in ArtStation? How many of you are aware of ArtStation?
Every student do reply. Suresh has asked you questions.
How many of you aware of ArtStation?
Hemant say yes. Agrim say no. I'm aware. Snehil, me.
Okay.
So
here, so in the ArtStation, you can just check it out. You can find out n number of references, and even you can collect it, and even Pinterest, you can find out so many references to do the modeling. So you have to be there in Pinterest also. So even in ArtStation, you can find out a lot of pre-learning stuff. So all the learning stuffs are free now. So they made it free. So try to do that. And the Pinterest, yes, that is also one nice website to look into your references. Okay, so I think
very well said. So Raju. Shubham, I request you can just type your question again because we found lots of questions. Shubham, I request, can you please write your questions again? There is a very one question, Sureshji.
yeah.
Just 1 second, and let me just scroll it for you.
Okay.
How to export decals from Maya? How to export decals from Maya?
Why decals you were trying to export from Maya? I didn't get it.
How to export decals from Maya? Decals.
Decals, that's right. That transparent information, correct? So like the stickers, those kind of things. You can export as a taga or you can export as a tip, then you can get that information. That means render output. Render output.
You has asked a question, Suresh. Sir, how to make veins? Some builders have the veins propping out on their necks and muscles. How to do that effect? Second question is, sir, can you show us how to export texture set manually with particular texture like opacity or translucent, which is not present in the output setting by default?
Which is translucent, right? Translucent.
Right.
Okay. See here in this particular character, we have a default settings. Suppose you for example, you want to add something, you can go to texture set settings. I think previous session we discussed about opacity also, opacity channel also we added. So here you can add reflection, opacity, scattering, specular, all these things you can add over here. Automatically it will load in this channel. Okay, so then you can start to do the texturing process for that particular maps. So you can just check it out. The second session, I think so, we discussed about opacity, how we can add that layer and how to create a opacity map for the that eyeball. We discussed. Okay. That is possible.
Snehil question is how to paint subsurface scatter map.
Yeah, see, this is I think we have to show. See, this material already have a subsurface scattering information. See, whatever the base human skin we applied, in this already we have a scattering information. So based on that only we applied the textures. That texture information we already applied over here in Maya. In Maya itself, we switch on that information over here in subsurface scattering. It's done. It's going on. So when you apply a proper lighting, automatically the output it will show the scattering effect in your model.
So from the substrate, the node is already connected, right? In short,
yes.
The node of material which we have applied, perfect. Sir, there is one question from the gate. Actually, sir, we can see the hard surface brushes in Substance, but how to make the brush inside Maya?
Brush inside Maya means which brush?
Hard surface brushes. Gate, I request you can elaborate, your questions with a bit more.
Yeah. This is what it is. This is what we'll get in the final because it's taking too much time. So I already rendered this and I kept over here for your reference. So once the rendering is done, it will be like this.
Gonna be look like this, something very nice.
Yes.
There is a questions from what is the exact use of the high poly mesh that you used in the beginning from the Vijay.
Okay. See, when your geometry is looking hard, when you are trying to do a texturing process, the smoothness, it won't come over there in your model. It will look like hard. So because of that, the hard surface, it won't be a user-friendly for texturing process. Because of that, only we prefer to go with high poly model. And that high poly model, we can take it as a texturing information and we baked on the low poly mesh. So then what it happens, the high poly mesh, it acts like a texture information on the low poly. It makes the model a little smoother. So automatically the texturing process will be easy for us to do in Substance. Once it's done, the detailed texture information, we can take it into Maya and we can apply the texture information in low poly model as a texture. Suppose you are doing the character for Jenny, you can keep it as a low poly version and you can apply the texture and you can go ahead. Suppose you want to do for production house, you can go for one smooth and you can apply the same texture. That's what we did for this particular model. We applied for two smooth and we applied the texture. It's looking nice. Got it?
Okay, there is one request from the she won the Maya cloth modeling sessions. Okay, definitely we'll appreciate for that. And one question from the Prince Sharma, Unity or the Unreal, which one should I learn?
Which one is it? Unity?
And the Unreal, but we definitely will, both are the equivalent software, but I'll request all the students, please do ask about today's sessions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Saurabh is asking, not giving the height information, which we can do it in ZBrush. It's giving the long height detail, which is convert into the displacement map.
See, actually, the production process will be like that only. then definitely we need to go with ZBrush or Substance. Very mild information and all, we can do it in Substance itself, like what we did today for the stubble and all. We don't need to go for ZBrush. Even in Substance itself, we can do that. But when you go for wrinkles, suppose the character is a 100 years old character and a very old character, like a Lord of the Rings character kind of stuff, definitely we have to prefer for ZBrush instead of going for Substance Painter. In Substance Painter, we can't do that much detail. So you have to take it into ZBrush and sculpt it over there, and the high poly version we can bring it into Substance Painter. On a low poly model, we can take that high poly information and we can start the process.
Correct. Okay, there is one question for me from Omkar. As I said, we won't lose any detail when we get the color space into the raw, but when I tried into the base color, the color in the render become the more lighter than the actual texture image. So is it true or might be any mistake in texturing? Omkar, just note down my email ID amar.trivedi@tech.ac.in. Just mail me your file or the screenshot. I like to see your file, and I'll definitely will guide you in that. Okay, there is one request from the Shubham. Sir, can you show us how to do a veins, please? It will be more really helpful.
Veins. Okay.
Bodybuilders.
It's nothing. You have to add some information, like you can just go to the layer and add one fill layer, and in the fill layer you can just add a base color, because the veins always come with light greenish, so make it you can light green, okay, and you can try to apply as a black mask, okay. And you can try to go with green and increase the height value a little bit, okay? And go with fill layer and try to make this brush stroke is very small brush stroke and soft. So don't go with the hard brush. You can go with soft brushes. Okay, you can instead of brush you can go with the dirt brush also fine. Or you can dirt brush, you can just choose it. Or you can go with you can try to choose some brushes which is very comfortable for you. Okay, and I try to choose this very big small brush, and you can just start the stroke over here. This is a 4K, because of that it's taking too much time. So I'm trying to change this. See here, it's coming like this. You can just go to 2048. Okay, so here, so it's taking a little time to load the texture.
It's taking time.
Yeah. Or I can just
question from the Saurabh Kumar Sureshji. But why displacement map in Substance?
Sorry?
Why displacement map in Substance?
Displacement map, see, there is a difference between displacement and bump map. Displacement map is for a realistic look, we need to go with the displacement. Some fake information we can show in bump. So in a bump map, we can give a very mild detail. When we go for displacement, it will give a very heavy detail in the model. So here I require to give a very realistic, heavy detail in the model. That's the reason I am going with very normal mapping itself. So in normal map itself satisfy your output. That means it will give a exact output in normal mapping itself. So you don't need to depend on displacement. Displacement once again, it's a costly. That means it will need a lot of render time.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So when we talk about the sort of between the displacement and bump in different words, bump is creating an illusion, right? It is not changing our geometry. But with the help of the displacement, we can see the the kind of the map which you have applied in the displacement. getting kind of impressions in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Understood. Yes, Hemant, you can use the Maya exchange also instead of the beer in substance. It's up to your choice.
It's up to you because you have a very high-end system, then you can go ahead with exchange. Suppose you
Right.
don't have a high system, you are having a medium configuration, then you can prefer to go with substance.
So I hope students please share your feedback, how you like the sessions, right? And we'll appreciate, please do, regular attend this kind of the webinar. We always try to do our best to get more knowledge.
I think this is loading continuously. I don't know why. Because texture should load. I don't know. Once again, okay. See, no need to worry about this. You can add one layer like this, green color, and you can start to do a stroke on this model from where you want to apply a nerve system stroke. You can apply it, and you can adjust the height value, and you can make it very certain, and it's done. And even you can use this blend mode. So whichever mode you can do with the multiply, you can do with the screen. It will look very realistic and it will mix or it will blend with the skin tone. So that is the way we can use the nerve system for our model. I hope I answered question, right?
Correct. So there are multiple ways we can do that. Suresh, can you just show your Maya render once? There are students just interested to see your Maya render final render.
It's going on.
Not one, the previous one, which you have did render previously.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes. So the Maya rendering is going on because I didn't keep high-end values. Because of that, the values are very less, and still the specular value is too high. So we have to reduce the specular value because it will take little time to bring it out. Okay, so but this is the basic idea behind the substance painter and Maya workflow. I think you got the idea, right?
Correct.
Yes. Any more questions?
Students, if you have any questions, so we request please do type into the chat box.
Yeah.
I guess that's all from our ends, Sureshji.
No, yeah. Okay, then I hope everyone liked the session. So I think you got a lot of idea about the texturing process. Mostly how we can play with different kind of layers, right? And what is the basic information we should follow at the time of texturing, right? Because this is very important. When you play with the texturing process, before starting your texturing process, you should understand the process, how we can proceed, what and all we should follow in texturing, and how it should be in the final output. All the pre-visualization you have to do, and all the homework you have to do for your workflow. So then only you can achieve the result. Otherwise, it's very difficult. So these are some references I collected from internet for our today's class. Because from there you will come to know how much detailed texturing is necessary for the models. When it's going for production houses, definitely we have to give this much detail in texturing. So texturing artist job is a really important job in the industry. You should have knowledge of lighting and as well as texturing. To become a very good artist, texturing artist, or you want to become a very good lighting artist, you should know the skill of both lighting as well as texturing. So then only we can find in your position. Okay. So that's it. So that's it from my side. I hope you people enjoyed this today's session. So I hope you can practice the same and give your best in your stream.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Sureshji, on behalf of the students. It was really wonderful sessions. Most of the students will learn lots of new things from you. I really appreciate Sureshji.
Yeah.
So we will end this.
You can share the feedback, right?
Right. Yeah.
See here now, the texture loaded. See here, I got a now system over here. I can adjust the color information. I can just reduce the color information, and I can go down and I can reduce the height information over here. Instead of 0.05, I can go with 0.03 or 2. It gives very nice nerve feel over here. To do this kind of texturing process, you can prefer to go with tablet. So tablet will give you the flow, like a nerve system and all. It needs a lot of bends and all. So in mouse, you don't have much control. You can go with the tablet, and that will be great. Okay, so I think students got an idea about nerve system also now. Yeah.
Yes, Sureshji.
So I think, yeah. So I think all of you got an idea about substance painter now. So you people can start to do texturing process in substance painter and make your show reels best. Then you can showcase your work to us in creosouls.com. Even we are ready to check your works and we can give you our reviews. Or you can share the link with us. YouTube link, definitely we will check into that and we will update. So thank you. Thanks a lot. I think we can conclude, right?
Yes, Sureshji. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your valuable time. Thanks a lot.